Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Nancy Solook joining us here. Excited to have her here from Satellite Beach, Florida. Nanga Hypnosis is the name of her company, and she's the owner and founder and excited to help people strive to reach for the best version of themselves. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
Thank you. I am doing great down here in Satellite Beach. And just in case you're wondering, it is really cold.
It is? Oh, I thought it was just New York.
It
I thought
is
Florida would
50
be warm.
degrees.
Oh my
It's 50
goodness.
degrees here today.
Colder than us. Wow. Well, welcome to the show. Pleasure to have you here. Would you mind telling us a little bit about your company? And of course, tell us your website to start.
The website is nangamyhypnosis.com. So it's the whole name. It's Nangamai Hypnosis, Hypnosis. Um, um,
Well,
we
well,
started
oh, go
we
ahead, go
started
ahead.
here.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yep, that's okay. We started about 7 years ago, and it's kind of been a passion of mine to help people to realize that you really don't need to be in pain. You don't need to be upset. You don't need to be angry. There's nothing holding you back really but yourself. So this is just a way to help people to get in tune with who they are to help them help themselves.
Wow. And we're talking about people with illnesses, right? Like you mentioned, maybe you have a lupus or cancer or an addiction out there,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's drinking or drugs, pain regression therapy. And we're talking, there's a lot that you do, and there's a lot that can hold us back. So I appreciate you
Absolutely.
here helping people. And I think it's always first and foremost important to make sure we get to know you and, of course, share your own personal story. I know you had your share of struggles, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously brought you to where you are today. And by the way, I got to just point out on her website, I mean, the sky, the clouds, the sun, the water, beautiful. It just makes you feel good. And I know that's what you're all about.
Well, that's the whole purpose, to see
Namai.
something good and take it in. So,
Exactly. Well, you do that when you go there. So again, Nangame spelled Nangamahypnosis.com. So please tell us a little bit of your backstory. Thank you.
well, I'm from New Jersey originally, so I'm from your area. I grew up there. I was there for 30 years. Um, and I left there in 1999, and I came down to Florida to kind of restart and redo. Through all that I went through in my earlier years, I lived with a lot of depression. I lived with a lot of pain throughout my body because of this depression. And they had me prescribed on all kinds of medications. And don't get me wrong, they worked for what they were. Um, but I got to a point where after a couple of years, it's like, okay, nothing is truly changing. So I got to find something different. And I came down here to Florida, and I met a wonderful woman named Catherine Napier. And I started doing hypnosis with her. And as soon as I started that, I felt different. I felt good. Um, I felt in control of who I was and the decisions I was making. So when that happened, it's like, oh no, this is me. I ran hotels, I ran tours, I did all that kind of stuff for 30 years. And it's like, nope, I'm a hypnotist now. I went to school, I got my certification through Catherine, and I started this. And for 7 years, I have been working with the public, just teaching people how to get in touch with who they are and what they want.
Well, thank you for being here and for joining us. And I just want to make sure, that we continue to strive to, as you say, you got this, right? To help people, to let them know they're not
Mm-hmm.
alone. And you say hypnosis is for everyone, right? You said, I
You got
cannot make you
this.
tell your deepest, darkest secrets. Cluck like a chicken. Could you explain that for people out there too?
Okay, so hypnosis has a really bad rap because of stage hypnosis and because of television. The truth is that hypnosis is a 100% consent state. So You can't be hypnotized unless you allow yourself to be hypnotized. You can't take a suggestion unless you allow that suggestion to happen. So I can't make you cluck like a chicken. Now, if you would like to cluck like a chicken, if you think it might be fun, yes, I can do that. I can put that suggestion to you, and if you choose to take it, you'll cluck like a chicken. A lot of people are afraid to come through hypnosis because they've got secrets and they don't want to tell their secrets. They don't want anybody to know what they've gone through or what they've done. Or, again, fact, I can't make you tell your secrets. I can't make you say anything. If you choose to say it because you want it out there, then you will. But that's your decision. I can never make it happen. Okay. The other question that we get all the time is, am I going to get stuck in a regression? You know, if we go back and we're working with the inner child, we're working with changing a narrative of something that happened in your earlier life. You cannot get stuck in regression. It is a natural form of relaxation, which is bringing memories forward. That's all it is. When you're done and you're ready to come out and you're ready to end it, you just open your eyes. It's done. You'll never get stuck. I can never send you someplace you don't want to go. So all of the things that television says it's so scary about and these stage hypnotists do, yes, it's all doable if you choose.
Got it. Well, thank you for sharing that. I want to make sure we point that out to everyone. But first and foremost, I mean, there is a lot that this could help with. Do you
Mhm.
want to share? I know, for example, you want to talk about your teaching, your certification classes as well, and then talk about private sessions and all that you do and what, hypnosis can help with. So I'll let you take the lead here. Go ahead.
Okay. I do teach hypnosis. After 7 years of being a practitioner, I got my certification to teach. I have opened Nanga Institute, which is an offshoot of my business, which is the teaching portion of it. I teach certification classes so that you can do and be a hypnotist just like me. We train hypnotists, not hypnotherapists. Hypnotherapists are trained through formal education, through colleges and universities. You do need a bachelor's degree to be a hypnotherapist. To
Mm-hmm.
be a hypnotist, you need to have the want and the desire to help people and to help them to move through their situations. Um, the class itself is a 48-hour class. It is very in depth with clinical hypnosis, which is hypnosis that can help with diseases, with certain illnesses, with addictions, with pain. We also teach what's called spiritual hypnosis, which are things like past life regressions, um, releasing oaths, vows, curses, things like that. And then we teach the regression therapy, which is going back in time to change a narrative on something that has happened. So that's the school itself. That's the main class. We also teach classes that will help to bolster what you've learned, being NLP classes, which is neuro linguistic programming, which is a different form of hypnosis, but still a very strong type. We also teach different spiritual aspects that you can, when you're dealing with someone who has a thought process, like if somebody is from one of the islands and they have a practice that isn't something that is Christian based, we teach how to talk to those people and talk to that subconscious mind so that you are on their path and what they need so that you can talk to them and help them to release. don't have to be Christian. You don't have to be Muslim. It doesn't matter what your beliefs are. We can hit each and every person with their own beliefs. So we teach all of that in the school. So, that being said, we do offer private sessions, which are about an hour and a half to 2 hours for each session. And it's really in depth. Depending on what it is that we're working on, it's totally catered to how it started, why it started, where it's been, where you feel it's going, and how can we change it. So it can be 2 hours of me just talking to you and giving you suggestions, or it can be 2 hours of going back and looking at why it happened. But
Yep.
it is totally in
Wow.
your wheelhouse. It's what you want to do and
Mm-hmm.
how you're reacting to things. When we do groups are they're open. So you have a group of people who are there supporting each other in whatever it is that they're trying to do. And the group I do most often is stop smoking. So you have a group of 10 people who walk in who all want to stop smoking. So all of them are supporting each other as they're going through this. And we're giving them suggestions to change their life. But they're not for just them. They are suggestions that will hit every person in the room. So it's not stylized for any individual person, but it still works just as well.
Well, thank you for that because now there's so many things that this could help with. And I know you even mentioned those that are suffering with diseases, chronic pain. Let me ask, and medicine has its place, right? And I just feel
Absolutely.
like I love that like both worlds, Western and Eastern, are kind of now working together a little bit more. Like I found out
Mhm.
about hypnosis when my mom was suffering with lung cancer back maybe 8 years ago before she passed, but it was a little too late. But like these are modalities that are listed now on like New York City, and big major hospitals all across the world. So there's something to be said for that. And I really, I have a friend who used hypnosis after she had a shoulder injury, years of pain medication, years of nothing. Last resort, she went to this and it worked. Like, so, it just, you got to
Mhm.
give it a chance. And I feel like some people are now even coming to, these external, different modalities first before the doctor. And it's like,
Mhm.
wow. So I do think it's fascinating what you're doing. And I also love hearing some stories. And could you share some testimonies, some of the people you've worked with?
Well, I've got the one that I'm so proud of for my client and for myself is that I was anesthesia for a colonoscopy. She was allergic to the physical anesthesia, and the hospital that was doing it said, "Okay, we'll let you in. We're going to have an anesthesiologist on hand and we'll deal with it if we need to." But I worked with her for about 2 months before the colonoscopy, and we got her all set. And I went in that day and I sat in the procedure room with her and we did the hypnosis and we kept her under hypnosis and pain free for 45 minutes. And when she came back the next day, she was on her feet. She had no side effects. She was doing great. So that is something that I'm proud of. Because that's an amazing feat for her to trust me enough and to trust herself enough and for me to actually get in there and do it because that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Got to get over your own fears too.
Yep. Oh my
But
goodness.
I've had some really amazing clients. I actually have a client who is in stage 4 of polycythemia vera, and we work every single week to keep her pain free and to help the blood to continue to flow because what that is it's a form of leukemia and the blood cells just they're too big to go through the
Yep.
veins. So what
Mm-hmm.
we do is we relax the
Wow.
body so that the blood can flow more easily and we keep her in a pain-free state.
Hmm.
So it's been a really wonderful experience. She has She has gone into stage 4, but she is still fighting. We got her down to stage 3 at one point, but she went back in. And this is what this disease is. It has no cure. It's just is ick.
Yeah.
But we continue to work, and she continues to trust, and we continue to go.
And that's so
It's a
important.
wonderful thing.
And just to point out, here you are in Satellite Beach, Florida. I love that you're from the tri-state, Jersey, but you're working with
Absolutely.
people all over. This is virtual. You could be done just as we're
Yes.
talking here on Zoom today, right?
Hmm. I have clients and I have students in Ireland, in Italy, in
Wow.
England, and all over the United States. The class that we're doing it's coming next Friday. We start our next class, and most of the people in this class are from Colorado or from South Florida, from Fort Lauderdale. So we only have one that's in person this time. So
Oh my goodness. Well, this is great. We got to remind everyone at this time, Nancy, how we can contact you. Could you share the website again, phone number, any contact information, even social
sure.
media pages at this point before we continue?
So you can find me on Facebook under Nanga Hypnosis. The email address is nangamyhypnosis@gmail. The website is nangamyhypnosis.com. And I have a theme here. And my phone number is 321-999-4518.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much. I mean, by the way, there's even testimonials on the website what people are saying, and I think that's always important. Like, for example, can I just read one or two? Do
Yeah,
you mind?
sure.
Finding a hypnotist you feel comfortable with and trust can be challenging, but Nancy easily met the criteria. I had 3 sessions with Nancy for weight loss. She gave a detailed description of what I should expect before, during, and after our sessions. After each session, she followed up with me to check on my progress. Thanks to my sessions with Nancy, I was able to successfully change my eating habits and have lost 22 pounds and counting. Thank you, Nancy. And that's from a client, I believe the name is D. Figueroa from Palm Bay, Florida. There's other people here talking about this person. She wanted to stop a habit that she developed. It was be irritating her husband. So she went to you, felt totally safe and aware of the process she put me through. I have stopped the habit completely. My husband and I are happy with the results. And again, she has some other phobias she's going to help you, you're going to help her with as well. And it's exciting to know that these things are really working for people and other people commending you on your classes, on your courses. This person stopped smoking, Kevin, not smoked a cigarette since. Let me ask, I mean, for example, for like a smoking, how long, how many sessions do you need, or how do you figure that part out?
Well, it really depends on what the person wants and what they feel they can do. If they come to a group, um, my groups, I have different people in each group. I don't have a lot of returns. And when I check in with them, they are doing well. Either they've stopped or they've cut down to the point where they're comfortable. When we're doing private sessions, it can be anywhere from 1 to 4, depending on how people take to it and what they want to do. But I always want to remind you that this is up to you how many you want to do. So if you don't feel the first one was enough, we'll do it again. And we'll keep doing it until you're comfortable with your results. And that goes for eating, that goes for the weight loss. It's stop smoking. It's even stress relief. I have
Got
somebody
it.
that comes once a week just to distress, because hypnosis is so relaxing. Even if they're doing nothing in the hypnosis session, they're decompressing for that time period.
Got it. Well, we also appreciate your time here, and I want to make sure we're covering everything that's important to you. You have a lot more notes here. Did you want to talk anything
Oh
about?
gosh, no.
Oh,
No, those were just questions that you asked, so I
okay.
answered.
No, no, perfect. Well, let's talk then more, I mean, about, the work you're doing. And I know you're part of a great network, you say. You mentor your students, and you've worked with many amazing hypnotists and hypnotherapists over the course of your life. Can I just ask, how did you get here today? Who was your mentor? That's kind of an important one.
Well, I have two main mentors that have gotten me through and gotten me to where I am. The first one was my first hypnotist, Catherine Napier, who is Avalon Training Center in Lake Mary, Florida. She does a course that she handed down to me. So I teach the same type of course that she has. I've added to it a little bit for the things that I specialize in, but it was her course that started me on this, and it's an amazing course to go through, because not only do you learn about hypnosis and how to help people go into hypnosis, but you help yourself to learn. You learn so much about yourself when you're doing this and what makes you tick. And it's a wonderful, it's a hypnosis is a wonderful modality. Let's put it that way. My other mentor that I'm astounded at the work that she does. She's based out of London, England, and her name is Liz Vincent. And she does an amazing regression course. And she teaches you how to bring any person into regression if that's if that's the way they want to go. Now, remember, regression can be this life, which is basically inner child work and helping to change a narrative of something that you've happened to you, or regression can be past life, which is going back and looking at what may have happened to you in the past that you're bringing forward. Things that you may not even realize that you're doing or that you've got going on with you. A past life regression can release if that's your belief system. If it is not your belief system, I do not recommend it. Oh, sounds like we have no
I hit the
sound.
wrong button. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
That was my fault. I
That's okay. It's like,
apologize.
wait, we have no
I'm
sound.
here. I said we still have just 3 minutes left in the show for today. What else do you want
Okay.
to make sure we get across for your listeners today?
I just want everybody to understand that hypnosis is for everyone. Even if you
Mm,
have that mind that is always working, always going, hypnosis can
yeah.
help you. There's really the rule that we're taught is that the only people who cannot be hypnotized at all are people who are an IQ of less than 70,
Yeah.
or someone with dementia or Alzheimer's. And the reason being, not because they can't be hypnotized, because they have a hard time following instructions. If you can follow instructions, if you can listen, you can go to some form of hypnosis.
But well, I
It's really,
agree.
it is for anyone.
Oh, and is it true that they say, you know, how many times a day are we driving or in the car on the weekend and you don't remember how you got from point A to point B? Isn't that a form of hypnosis?
That is hypnosis.
See, so if you think you can't be hypnotized, I doubt it. You can.
And when you're watching TV and you're just sitting there and all of a sudden it's been an hour and a half and you've just been sitting there staring at the television, you're hypnotized. It's a certain extent of hypnosis. When we work in a private session, we work to get you all the way down into the delta state, which is where your heart is beating very slowly, you're breathing very deeply, and you are completely and fully relaxed. That's what we work for. If we don't get there, that's okay. As long as we're in a relaxed state, we're receptive to suggestions. And if you don't like the suggestion, that subconscious mind of yours is going to push it right out and say, nope, I don't want it, and move on.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much for being here. Let's remind everyone how we contact you. And do you offer an initial discovery call for someone?
Absolutely. We do have free consultation. Free consultations are usually anywhere between 15, 20 minutes, just so that we can talk and you can get used to me and how I talk and what it is. And I can find out what I need to know about you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And one more time, tell us the website.
It's nangamyhypnosis.com.
Perfect. Thanks so much. It's really cool. I know you're from the New Jersey area. I'm not sure where in particular, but we just had an earthquake here about 25 minutes ago. I'm not sure you're aware.
No.
Yes, you'll see it on the news later because it affected New York City, Long Island. I felt it. It was like a 10:24 my time here.
Oh
Yeah.
my
So,
gosh.
and I'm trying to think. It popped up before on my screen. It was Skins with a T. Someplace in New Jersey actually was the epicenter. It was like a 5. It rated a 5 on the scale. So, yeah, interesting, right? Crazy. Right before our
Wow, because
show.
I'm from Central Jersey, and the last earthquake they had in Central Jersey, I was 7. So,
Wow.
and I got knocked out of bed.
Oh
So,
my goodness. Wow, amazing. Because it says, hold on, do you mind me peeking
sure,
down
go
one
ahead.
second to look? Hold on, because it came up on
Yeah.
my news flash before I started the show. And it was ready. I'm gonna just tell you because you are a Jerseyite, and I don't know if you have family here. It looks like it was in okay, here we go. Lebanon, New Jersey. A
Oh my.
4.8. Yes, I'm not sure if you're familiar with that. It looks like it's
I absolutely am.
yeah, I mean, I know you
Yeah.
can't see, but yeah,
That's
interesting.
north of where I used to live.
Wow, but we felt it everywhere. So just a little tidbit. If you have family still there, check on them, make sure they're okay. I'm sure they are. But thank you. So nice getting to know you today and talking
You
with you,
too. It was
Nancy
wonderful to meet
Solook.
you.
And are we back again soon to talk more?
Um, Probably. I'm not sure of timing or anything like that.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to hearing some more testimonials and stories about the work you're doing. Thank you so much for being here.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Have a great day. And to all of our
All
listeners,
right.
stay tuned. More of the show's coming up after the break.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcasts on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.